been in Kelowna for a number of years to know so many amazing people, to be meeting more. And one of the lovely ladies who I've had the pleasure to meet, we're going to introduce to the stage momentarily. So Kasha Rajpal is a gifted, intuitive energy artist who channels truth for ambitious men and women who are ready to move through limiting beliefs and stories. Take the important, juicy lessons and know what steps to take next. Kasha's bold art and channeled words are a powerful and healing tool for highly visual individuals who want a permanent reminder of their mindset shifts. Kasha's art is like a tattoo on canvas instead of skin. The colorful and energetic paintings bring clarity, alignment, and centering focus. They represent and commemorate a time in your life when you overcame obstacles and became more of who you authentically are. The powerful, soulful being you are beneath it all. Kasha's official credentials include a master's in transpersonal psychology, trainer of neuro-linguistic programming, ICF certified professional coach, master practitioner of time empowerment therapy and hypnosis. She's a practitioner of Reiki, creative heart extraordinaire, and intuitive artist. At the core, she's a woman and a mom with a pure heart, who's keen on helping you elevate your energy so you can be everything you're meant to be in your world. Please help me welcome Kasha.
It's all official. How many of you have heard of Brené Brown? Quite a few. She has this story she tells, or a process she offers, where you have a 1 square inch piece of paper, and on that piece of paper you write the names of the people that you trust the most with your heart stories. The story I'm going to share with you tonight is a story that only the people on my square inch piece of paper have known in the past, because it's been a lot of pain for me, but now I'm able to share it with you from the other side, from the empowered side. So I've gotten the juicy bits out of my story, and I can now share it. So I'm ready. How many of you have heard of Wayne Dyer? Lots of us, yeah. He was my first spiritual teacher. I actually met him, I have a picture, he gave me a hug, he signed my favorite book, The Power of Intention. My mom gave me his book when I was going through a tough time dealing with postpartum depression after my daughter was born. And I had no idea what he was talking about, but I knew in my heart that this was important and I better keep reading. Well, he passed away last year, and in his death, he gave me the most amazing gift. He really saved my life again, helped me save my life again. So I was going through some really bad health issues last August, and I didn't know what was going on. And when I heard that Wayne had passed away, and a lot of people were really, really sad, I was actually happy. I thought, oh, you're so lucky, you get to get out of here, you know, and I'm stuck here. And I asked myself the question, what would I do if I found out that I had 3 weeks left to live? What would I do? How would I feel? And one of my top values is honesty, brutal honesty. And so my honest answer to that question was I would be relieved. I'd be happy to go, because up until that time, I was 37 and a half. I thought this life was a joke. I felt, and this is where the shame comes up, is I felt, whose sick joke is this to put humans on this crazy rock, hurtling through space, to suffer, to scratch out a living, for what? Why? That's the mindset I had lived with. I had somehow missed the memo that we're all worthy just because we're here to have fun, we're here for whatever reason. I didn't know that, I didn't remember that. Somehow it had not resonated or just didn't register with me as I lived my life. And so admitting to myself that I would be relieved to go. I would be relieved to transition into the non-physical. It actually made me really sad. And I grieved that I hated this life. I grieved it, and it surprised me. So the grief was exacerbated by the fact that I was going through these health concerns, and I thought, oh great, I've manifested some sort of illness and now I'm actually gonna die. Okay, great. But again, it made me really sad because I had all these reasons to be happy, the reasons that I could intellectually explain to myself. I have an amazing family. Look at where I live. It's like a vacation resort town. I have amazing children. I have so much to live for, and yet why am I so unhappy? And so I sat in that grief probably for about 3 weeks. And then this tiny little light of source, whatever it was, gave me a hint and said, I created everything, which means I not only created you in the physical, I also created the spiritual. Everything means everything. And what makes you think that the spiritual grass is greener than the physical grass? I created both of them. I thought, yeah, you're right. Epiphany. I had never felt worthy of the physical, ever. I had never felt worthy of the physical. And that's why because I had never felt worthy of the physical existence, I just never thought it would work for me. So I had never really tried. Like all this stuff I knew, I never actually fully implemented it in my own life. So I decided, okay, whether I'm worthy or not doesn't really matter. I'm gonna hopefully get my body healthy and not die because I have 2 amazing kids, I have an amazing husband, I have so much to live for. Now I'm excited. And I became like a toddler. You know how toddlers are. They see the world and they want to eat it. They just go for it, and one minute they're ecstatic and they're running around, and then they fall and bump themselves and they're freaking out and crying and ecstatic again the next. That was me, just at 37. I wasn't running around like a toddler, but that's what I felt like. For the first time in my life, I was excited about life, about trees and birds and the lake and my kids being silly. And it's interesting even now speaking about it because I can remember what it felt like to not feel this. And I try not to remember too much, but I still can. And it's like I remember the joy that I felt on the other side of it. So I decided that at least I was worthy enough to implement and do the work for myself. I was going to implement every process that I had ever learned, every energy session that I had ever done with anyone. I was going to do with myself. I would start listening to the spiritual masters that I loved so much, including Wayne, including Abraham Hicks. And I did. And I was going to give it 30 days, and I thought, okay, if nothing changes, nothing changes. If I've manifested some sort of disease, I'll leave anyway. If something changes, great. I have really nothing to lose because the misery that I had lived in, this had to be better than that. And I did. I committed. I started implementing. I became a recluse from everybody, pretty much. And I did the work. And it's been interesting. I'm still a bit of a toddler. I still freak out all the time, and I'm joyful for no reason at all. Life isn't all rainbows and unicorns yet, but it is more often. I can tell you now that I love being a mom, whereas before it was a chore. I love my business, my work, whereas before it felt hard. I love people in my family more, and family can be one of those things that pushes your buttons. I love my friends more. I have better boundaries in my life. I'm able to do the things that mean that I love me more, not less. I put myself first. And because of that, I've been able to heal not only my physical condition, but I feel like I've healed my heart. And the geekiness, the intellectual part of me, I'm just so grateful for that, and that comes from my dad. He's an engineer, and that was the most important thing to him, is it's knowledge. And I feel like the intellect inside me brought me back to my heart, because my heart was the one that hurt, and now it's whole. Thank you.